Back in 2006, I found myself in Singapore teaching a private guitar student. And initially, I was traveling from Helsinki to Singapore, backwards and forwards. But after a few trips, we decided I would stay there for a few weeks at a time to teach this student. And one evening, I found myself watching the news late at night. BBC was on the TV. I was half asleep. The newsreader was talking about something about Indonesia, about forest fires. And suddenly he stopped and he said, "Oh, I have some breaking news." And he put his hand to his earpiece and said, "I have breaking news that North Korea has launched its test nuclear missiles." And I became really curious for some reason. I ended up researching on internet about North Korea, music, about their customs, about all kinds of history. I found myself writing an email to the British ambassador that night, about 3 a.m. So I wrote him a very simple email. "Dear sir, my name is Jason Carter. I'm a guitarist. I've been working for the British Council, doing concerts in places such as Afghanistan and Mozambique and so and so. I'm very interested in coming to North Korea to play a concert, to do a collaboration if possible. What do you think? Music can be a really powerful platform for intercultural dialogue. Best wishes from Jason." I thought, he won't reply, come on. Well, after a couple of days, I received a reply from him and he said, "Dear Mr. Carter, thank you for your very unusual email. You are the first person that's asked to come to North Korea. However, I understand your idea, but we are not in a position to organise any cultural activities for various reasons. First of all, it's not allowed. However, the North Korean government do invite artists once a year for a festival. So if you want, I can make the connection for you, introduce you to the government, and then step out of the equation and you can then communicate with them directly." So I agreed and I sent my CDs, my DVDs to the Foreign Office in London. It went to North Korea eventually. This was October. And I heard nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks. I thought, oh, well, it was worth a try. Christmas 2006, I was in Spain with my parents on holiday. It was Boxing Day. And my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I thought, oh, it's a friend from Dubai or Singapore or someone wishing me Merry Christmas. So I answered the phone. I said, "Hello." And a very strange voice, a distant strange voice on the end of the phone said, "Oh, hello, Mr. Carter." I said, "Hello." And he said, "Oh, hello, I'm calling from North Korean Embassy in London. And I understand you want to come to North Korea to play a concert with your guitar." I said, "Well, yes, that would be interesting. How does one go about doing that?" And these were his exact words. He said, "First of all, you have to come to the embassy so we can deepen the intimacy with you." And so we made a date for our intimacy deepening experience. And I found myself at the North Korean Embassy in London a few weeks later. Now, most embassies are grand buildings in the center of capital cities. But the North Korean Embassy is a sort of an end terraced house in Ealing Broadway in West London, which is a suburb. It wasn't easy to find, and I found myself standing outside this house looking quite auspicious, to be honest. All the curtains were closed. It looked a bit unloved, and there was a golden plaque saying the Embassy of the DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So I opened the gate and there was cameras and I walked in and I knocked on the door. The door swung open quickly and there was a smiling, happy North Korean man. "Ah, Mr. Carter, welcome." I walked in and of course every embassy is the property or the territory of the country that you're visiting. So for the first time I was actually in North Korean territory. My first impressions were the house was very musty, the paintings were very old-fashioned, and there were very badly taken photographs of the axis of evil leaders that North Korea are friendly with. So there was a picture of Yasser Arafat, Colonel Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, and others. And I was sort of ushered into a small sitting room, and the coffee table was plastered with North Korean propaganda, these like bright red magazines, and depicting the wonderful life in North Korea. The man who brought me in sort of told me to wait, brought me some tea, and I sat there for a while by myself. There was a little camera in the corner. So I waited patiently, and finally, the North Korean ambassador to London came in. Now, he was a very quiet, short man with glasses and quite serious. And he sat to my right, and the other man sat to my left. So general questions about my life and about music, and and they were sort of expressing how interested they were to receive someone to play music and how important music is in terms of bridge building. So it was all very positive. Anyway, the North Korean ambassador had my CV that I printed, or I'd sent by email. He printed out, and all my experience was there. And he was sort of looking through it. And at one point, he looked at my CV and he said, "Oh, Mr. Carter, I can see that you like to visit axes of evil countries." And there was a silence, and he looked at me and he said, "Welcome to North Korea."